We humans never built the Egyptian pyramids. Newly discovered hieroglyphs suggest that humans are not the true origin of these mind-blowing structures. For the longest time, I believed the Egyptians built massive ramps to lift those gigantic stone blocks. But that theory doesn't explain everything. Each block weighs around 20 tons, and even with hundreds of workers, moving them would be nearly impossible, especially uphill. And then, there's the mystery of the stones themselves. Research shows many blocks were extracted from quarries over 800 kilometers away. How did the Egyptians transport between 600,000 and 4 million blocks in just 30 years without advanced technology? That question still has no clear answer, but a recent discovery might change everything we thought we knew. Researchers found hidden chambers inside one of the pyramids and sent a micro camera in to explore. What they found inside challenges everything we've been told about how these structures were built. Want to see the footage? Comment Egypt.
So there's a satellite image from the ESA 7 satellite. This was in 1968. And it was like the first visual of Earth via satellite, or like a composite of it.
Yeah.
But look at, and was
like
stationed over the North Pole. And this is the picture that they released.
What the heck?
And they talked about, it's just the composite images that they all put together, and the North Pole wasn't captured. Right? Okay, well then this was from Google Earth in like the early 2000s. Send this to you.
It's the hole to the center of the Earth.
And then this was released by NASA, I believe, in the 80s or 90s.
You guys,
all separate.
Go.
Holy moly, dude.
That's
Literally.
actually unsettling.
So where's Santa?
But does it not look, if you compare it to that first map,
It's identical.
and people talk about,
And what year was that map? That was like the 1600s?
yeah,
Gosh, man.
yeah, and people have talked about, like, apparently NASA, but they've taken it back, or they've like scrubbed it or something. They talked about, like, it was really hard to find the image, but there was this obscure image that people like zoomed in of the Earth, and at the top there was literally a black stone sticking out, like at the top of the world.
Oh my gosh.
A black stone.
And it's like the same as this freaking map, bro. Like,
Guys,
literally,
these mysteries of the world.
That's like we're never going to know.
We will. I believe we'll know in heaven.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, it's just because
Yeah.
people will say, of course, there's nothing there. Like, you just go, like, people have gone there. It's like,
well,
we don't know.
You know,
that. We don't-
flight plan or flight paths. You're not allowed to fly over
Is it
the North
restricted?
Pole. Yeah, because I mean, probably because it's the most harsh climate, but
Yeah.
still,
Right.
people don't fly over the North Pole.
Yeah.
But Admiral Byrd did.
Admiral Byrd.
We've
Yeah.
talked about him a lot too.
Yeah.
He
Good
did.
name for a pilot.
Yeah, he's associated with a ton of stuff. Like even the Project Fishbowl. He was involved in the Operation High Jump.
Was he the guy that had the heart attack in
I'll never have
Antarctica?
No, that was Buzz Aldrin.
Oh.
Admiral Byrd, this was like shortly after World War II. He was sent with an armada. The Navy sent this whole armada of battleships to the Antarctic. Super weird stuff. And it was just to explore, but it was all weaponized. And so the theory is that he went out there to seek out Nazi hideouts in Antarctica.
Yeah.
So he explored that, said that there's some crazy stuff there. And then he also did an exploration to the North Pole. And this is where this is the conspiracy part.
Okay.
Because apparently he had, and we've talked about it before, I believe, but his secret diary that only he had. And then when he died, his son got it. And then when his son was trying to publish the stuff in it, he died, like under very mysterious circumstances. But Admiral Byrd talks about in this secret diary, allegedly that he wrote, people think that it's fake, that when he went to explore the North Pole, there was an entry to inner Earth, like hollow Earth.
And that would make sense with this big old hole.
It would. And he describes it as being in the Earth, lush green land beyond the ice, mammoth-like creatures, a technology-advanced civilization, and meeting with a being called the Master, who warns humanity about nuclear weapons.
Wow.
So this is where it gets a little like,
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
But it sounds like the little green children.
Yeah, I know. That's
Yeah.
what I thought about. It was the
Yeah.
Green Kids.
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
That literally backs up that story. That's so fun to think about. A
Yeah.
giant hole that has a whole different world. I mean, yeah, dude.
I don't. It's all.
I'm just
freaking
saying,
me.
like sci-fi. So the possibility of sci-fi movies right now
Oh
are just
my
endless.
gosh.
But apparently this master gave Admiral Byrd this message. It's a long message. But at one point he says to Admiral Byrd, you see, we have never interfered before in your race's wars of barbarity,
Wow.
but now we must, for you have learned to tamper with a certain power that is not for man, namely the atomic energy. Our emissaries have already delivered messages to the powers of your world, and yet they do not heed. You have been chosen to witness here that our world does exist. You see, our culture and science is many thousands of years beyond your race.
Wow.
You, my son, must return to the surface of the world with this message.
Cool.
And then he died.
This island in Russia should not exist, and it is the most dangerous island in the world. In 1983, a team of Russian scientists were experimenting with nuclear radiation on an island called Chernaris. When a system failure occurred, the reactors began heating up to extreme levels and ended up exploding. This all happened within 15 minutes. Not a single person managed to escape all throughout the island. The effect of this explosion is nothing like ever seen before. When the first team of help arrived on a helicopter, they saw something terrifying. 95% of the island's residents, which is nearly 40,000 people, were all infected with some kind of virus that came from the radiation. They were all wandering mindlessly and carelessly, as if their brain had been taken over. Here's the scariest part. They began attacking those that have not been infected and started eating them. The helicopter crew described it as a zombie apocalypse straight out of a movie. Till this day, the island still stands with these infected humans. The Russian government sends the most dangerous of inmates on this island to survive as a punishment. None have ever lasted longer than 48 hours.
Have you ever heard the mind-blowing conspiracy theory about Antarctica? According to this theory, Antarctica isn't just a continent, but an enormous barrier of ice. This wall stretches across the entire southern edge of our world, concealing what lies beyond it. The idea is that this ice wall is impassable, keeping us from discovering the mysteries on the other side. What could be on the other side of this colossal ice wall? Some believe there's an advanced civilization, untouched by modern humans. This hidden world could be home to ancient cities, advanced technology, and knowledge lost to history. Imagine an entire civilization thriving in secrecy, with their own cultures, technologies, and perhaps even their own form of governance. The theory gets even wilder with the idea that this hidden world harbors species unknown to us, from mythical creatures to entirely new forms of life. Could Antarctica really be the key to uncovering a hidden world filled with advanced civilizations and new species? The mystery remains. Subscribe for more intriguing conspiracies.